So I just want to go and get this started off with a healthy bit of outrage, because that's always my favorite thing to peddle. If you have not been keeping up with it, and frankly, I'm not a huge track and field fan, so I have not, but the qualifiers have been going on in Eugene, Oregon over the weekend, and it caused a bit of a scene when hammer thrower Gwendolyn Berry, which...
Yes.
Let me just side note, that is a pretty cool athlete name. Gwendolyn Berry? That's cool.
Gwendolyn Berry.
But what she did was not so cool. As she was getting her third place medal, she did qualify by virtue of being in third place. She did qualify for Team USA. But while she was doing that, the national anthem was playing. And instead of standing at attention, hand over her heart like any honorable American should be doing during the national anthem, she decided to do something a little different, and she got a lot of attention for it. I'm going to go and bring up a picture real quick. She tweeted this out saying, "Stop playing with me," because people were justifiably upset. But as you can see here, just sort of just that picture alone, just screams like kind of petulant brat. You got two people at attention, standing upright. One person's got their hands on their hips, kind of slouching. So even just that is sort of, really kind of off-putting. But what I really want to talk to you guys about today is this sort of, I guess, what Barry had to say, is what stuck with me in this particular. We've seen it before. We've seen athletes disrespect the anthem. This one felt a little different to me, and I think it was because I kind of dug into her comments. So one of the things Barry said was, one, she said it felt like it was a setup. She did not expect the anthem to be playing then and got all upset about that. But she came out and she put a T-shirt up over her head that said "Activist Athlete." Yeah. She just flippant, could not care less that the Star Spangled Banner was playing. One of the things she said that stuck out to me, and Eric, I'm going to kick this over to you real quick. Barry claims that the anthem doesn't speak for her. What does that mean? Because that is a prevalent thought in a lot of sort of, I don't want to call them straight up anti-Americans, but the anti-American resentment.
Close enough. You could probably say anti-Americans.
that sense of resentment. What does that mean? Like, where is this coming from? Share some insight on that.
Yeah, It's funny. This kind of ties into, flag burning, where it's all about my desire to make a statement. Of course, flag burning is protected by the Supreme Court in the 1990s, where it's considered a form of activism, right? As I read this story, I brought me back to when my son and I went to Washington, D.C., and we went to the Smithsonian. We saw the huge flag that Francis Scott Key penned the anthem from. The thing is, a couple of stories tall, and it's just so moving to see it. It was restored, 200 years later in this special display in the Smithsonian. The fact that countless, hundreds of thousands of Americans gave their lives through all the various wars and so forth, and to think that the anthem doesn't speak to me, I really boggle at what that statement even means. And the other thing I'll say about this activist athlete is that she is trying out for the Olympics. And what that means is that she is going to be representing her nation on the on the world stage. Yep. So if she wants to just go out and just compete for her own sake, fine. But when she's signing up to everything that requires for you to be an Olympian athlete for the Americans teams, that means that you are standing up for America and what it means. So this is just kind of bizarre behavior for me.
Yeah, that's really what makes this case different than all the other stuff. And during these Olympics, we're going to start to see some more of this anti-American stuff on the world stage, and we could quite possibly see a lot of our athletes doing stuff like this, and it's going to be embarrassing. It's going to be humiliating. And to talk about what you're asking, what does it mean that the anthem doesn't speak for her? And that's just going in line with this whole narrative that the left's been pushing about systemic racism, about how the country has always been evil, it's always been oppressing black people, and it's never been better. There was never the civil rights movement didn't really do anything. All it did was push white supremacy into the shadows, but it's still oppressing black people. And the left's going to continue to push this stuff, and more people are going to believe it, and it's just going to lead to everyone hating this country. So until we lose all the freedoms that we've appreciated so much.
That is a sad thought. All right, so another quote here I want to focus on. This is again from Barry. She did speak to the Washington Post. Obviously, this story blew up. It was a very big deal over the weekend. Barry said, "Sports is entertainment, but my purpose and my voice and mission is bigger than the sport."